What's going on, guys? Today I got some of my college guys here with me.
I'm Blake Sides, shooting guard, Cal State San Marcos.
Mike Diaz, guard at San Francisco State.
And today we're going to be going over how to take angles and get downhill to get you guys an open look. So right now we're going to take a look at creating angles laterally. So right now I'm going to get into a glide and I'm reading Mike's feet. So if Mike's in a defensive stance and I'm trying to create space, I get into my glide. As soon as I get into my glide, if my left foot is lined up with his left foot, I have an opportunity to attack and try to create. Now after I get into my glide, the most important thing is I have to be able to change height levels. So if Mike's in a defensive stance right now and I get into my glide, I have to make sure I'm dropping my shoulders and hips, and I have to try to get my shoulder in between his hip and his knee. That's going to allow me to be a little bit more explosive, and it's also going to allow me to absorb contact. If Mike's a little bit stronger, when I put the ball on the ground, he gives me a little contact, I'm going to be able to stay on balance. So the first option we're going to get into is just finishing. One thing we have to understand is when we create this angle to get downhill, we have to be able to close the gap. There's a little gap between me and Mike right now, and we have to have the ability to get in our defender's body in order to get into our finishes. Let's check it out. So now, once we've attacked downhill a couple times off of this, we want to make sure, again, our left foot is lined up with his left foot. Now he notices we're trying to get downhill, he's going to try to cut us off. So if I see him take a cross step across his body, I just want to take one step into space, and I want to get straight into my pull-up jumper. The reason I want to get straight into my pull-up jumper is because if he's trying to beat me to the spot, it's going to be very hard for him to recover and try to contest. Now my next read, as soon as Blake completely cuts me off and my chest is lined up with his chest, I no longer have an opportunity to keep attacking. So now I want to get into my counter. In order to get into my counter, I want to be able to shift him to create space. So now I have to really focus on selling this drive hard. So by doing that, I'm going to drop my right shoulder, and I'm going to lean to my right and drop my hips. That's going to sell my drive to the right, and that's going to allow me to shift and get into my crossover and create space laterally. We want to get into our pull-up right now because the lane is clogged. So watch my fork. So as soon as I get into my cross, my feet are crossing each other, I'm getting into space laterally and getting into my jumper. Now my next read out of it. So now after I get into my cross, Mike's guarding me, I get out of my cross. As soon as I create this space, now I see a lane to the bucket. But now after I create this space, there's a gap between us. I want to be able to close that gap, because if I don't close that gap, Mike is going to be able to get back in front and recover. So now I want to get into his body and get him off of me in order to get into my finish. So now I'm getting into that glide. I cross. Now after I create this separation, I'm getting into his body before he can get into mine. That's going to allow me to get to the bucket. So today, we went over how to create angles to open up an opportunity for you to create. If you guys enjoyed that video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And make sure you guys follow my guys on Instagram, @Blake Sites and @MixTeamMike. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.